Hey everybody, it's Jenny McGarvey and I'm back with you again today to share how I planned in my memory planner. This is a big size happy planner. I believe it is called the Kaleidoscope version. As you can see, I decorated last week and I used the Planner Society January kit. It's super pretty, full of pink and yellow and lots of springy items, and that's just wonderful for making my weeks feel optimistic and fun. I've saved a couple of my son's class valentines that I'm going to punch and add in the discs, and I've printed out a few photos that I'm going to use to sprinkle throughout the week. This week I actually only have 4 photos, so it's kind of a little bit light for me in terms of photos, but that's okay because there's lots of room then left over for decoration and adding all of the activities and the appointments. I also decided that this week I was not going to do any journaling, not for any reason at all, just because every now and again I like to try some different things to jumpstart my creativity and make sure that I'm enjoying the process as much as possible. And there really wasn't that much to say this week either, so it was a-okay to leave that portion out. Now, it's not something that I'll do in the future, but for me, for this week, it was just fine. As you can see, I've placed my photos, and now I'm going to go ahead and take that page out of the planner so that I can work without any bumps or interruptions from the discs. I'm just going to lay my photos where I want them. I'm not going to adhere them yet, and then I'm going to get down to work adding the different stickers and activities. I'm using the Scraptastic Club January Plan On It kit to add all of my events and activities, and I'm just going through those stickers trying to pull out a couple that I think that I want to use for the very beginning. I know I have a light Monday, there's no photos, and I don't have a ton of activities, so that I know I want to go ahead and pull out a few little decorative elements just to dress up that corner a bit. A couple of hexagons and then one of those cute little quote stickers will do the job just fine. Now, my son stayed home sick this day, and so it was a perfect thing to kind of notate in my planner for future reference. Obviously, it's not in my everyday planner because it just kind of happened and it didn't really impact my plans. But in terms of keeping a daily scrapbook, which I kind of consider this project to be, adding that in was perfect. Now, I like to use these big clocks in a couple of different ways. I like to either put one down and then layer a different kind of sticker on top of it to notate the time, like I am right here, or I like to just write the time directly on top of it. I don't draw the hands anymore because I was never happy with how my hand drawing turned out, but you should absolutely draw hands if you're happy with how yours turn out. That's kind of what's awesome about this whole thing, is that it's very, very personal. I'm going to use a little stamp from Sweet Stamp Shop. It is, I think it's game night maybe, and it's got the little cards, and I'm just going to use it to help notate my husband's monthly poker game. I love adding that in there. I think it's super fun and really cute and just something a little bit playful and whimsical that I'm able to add. I used a red VersaFine ink. VersaFine is what I always use first if I have it available in the color that I need. It is smooth, it dries fast, and does not bleed through my paper. I'm going to add back those photos. I had only moved them just so that I had the ability to write without disruption from the photos, like them sliding all over and those kinds of things and distracting me. So now I'm pulling out a few different options that I can use for stickers. There's so many helpful ones each month, and I want to make sure that I am able to choose the ones that will go best. Now I have a lot of activities on Tuesday, which is kind of a bummer since I have 2 great photos from Tuesday also, but you know what? It's awesome because I can jam pack that one little box full of activities, and then my Tuesday, I feel like it just ends up looking really good because there's not a whole lot of leftover space that I'm trying to figure out how to fill it up. And I love that in contrast with the other boxes that are a little bit more decorative, and you'll see that once this page comes all together. So as you can see here, I'm trying a few different techniques in terms of marking down all of my activities. I'm using my top one, which is that where I use the little arrows and I point and add an icon. The next one, I'm using those cute little box stickers that include that circle space for a circular icon. The bottom I'm using a different box, which I actually really like those too, because then I can add the time and then note the activity right below it. And then here I'm using a dinner type label, like what's for dinner, and covering it up with a little clock. So it's just a lot of fun, different ways, and so many different types of stickers to use. Now, as you can see, I'm obviously not really necessarily veering towards any one color. I'm kind of trying to stay in the red, green, blue category in terms of using these stickers, but I'm definitely branching out every now and again. Now I just wanted to also include a fun little Valentine sticker to add to that decorative cluster up at the top, and then add the arrow to point to that photo of my son as well. Now I pulled out that sticker because I wanted to write that it was my husband's birthday, but I decided to hold on to it because I knew that I might want to also add some decorative elements because our Wednesday was really super light activity-wise, and I also didn't have any photos. So I decided to just hold that off to the side and add that a little bit later once I had come to a better conclusion of what I might add for decoration in those top two boxes. Since I only had these two activities, they fit nicely in the bottom box. Now it's time to pull out the other side, so I'm just going to move my photos, remove the page from the planner, and then place the photos back where they go. I always remove my pages from the discs because then I don't have any problems with bumpiness underneath the paper that I'm working on, and then also my hand doesn't get, or the discs don't get in the way of my hand. I guess my hand wouldn't get in the way of the discs now, would it? Now I'm just going to add a couple of little stamps. I don't know that, or stickers, I'm sorry. I don't know that I love how I paired them together. The idea in my head seemed great, but I'm not sure the execution went together so well. But you know what? I don't hate it. It's just one little element, and so I'm going to let that be right there. Now for Thursday, I have a couple of activities to note. So the first one, I'm just adding that little banner, but I screw up the time, so I replace it. And I did tear the bottom sticker just ever so slightly, but it really wasn't a problem because I was going to cover it up anyway with the new banner that I pulled out. So never fear the tearing of the stickers. And in all honesty, I probably pulled it off a little bit more smoothly and not torn it, but it's okay. It's not the end of the world, and it all worked out just fine. Now, as you can see, it's time to move on to Friday, and that was a day off of school for my son. So I'm just taking my Tombow brush pen and writing no school right there with that, because I don't have a sticker with this particular kit that notates it's a no school day, so why not just add a little bit of brush lettering and make it a little bit more fun. Now, again, this is one of those days that I don't have too many activities, so I'm able to add my photo in the afternoon spot and then also place the one for Saturday as well. Although Saturday is the exact opposite. I have so many different activities and appointments, so that's definitely something to keep in mind as well. Now I'm going to add this little decorative sticker and then layer on top that little notepad sticker. And then on top of that, a little label and a clock to finish it all off. So no, I absolutely did not have to use 4 stickers for one activity. That's definitely a little bit of overkill. But for the decorative function, since if you'll recall this is my memory planner and I treat it more like a scrapbook than I do a planner, it just helps add that little decorative element as well. Now for Saturday, I have a lot of things that I need to keep track of, so I'm just going to start right up at the top and use that simple yet effective and cute little format, which I use the little sticker that points, so an arrow if you will, to the activity that I have written, and I also add the icon sticker on top of it. For certain other stickers that are a little bit bigger than these, I will sometimes write on the sticker and then have it point to an icon, but these are very small and I wouldn't be able to get the information on all of that. Now I've layered a few different ones together in that box so that I can add the information, and that's fun too, and I love the way that those two stickers contrast with each other. Now in keeping with that contrasting theme, I will select some more stickers to build upon that and add for the rest of the activities for this particular day. However, I also want to throw in a little bit of decorative element as well because, as I've mentioned several times now, this is my memory planner and I like to treat it as not only a planner but also a scrapbook. So as you can see, I'm adding a couple of the little hexagon stickers, which are so cute. And then I'm also going to label on top of it one of those little wordfetti type stickers. Now I'm leaning really heavily on the red. I wanted to have kind of, not that monochromatic look since I used the floral as well, but I really wanted to just hit the red heavy over there and have that stand out quite a bit with all of the layering of the red stickers. Now I'm using another one of those boxes that has the circle at the top to add the little circular icon, and then one of these stickers with the cute stars on the side and the lines because I have quite a few things that I'm going to write on that one sticker. So having all of that room to write is definitely very helpful. Now, by and large, I'm finished with the decorative, or the, not the decorative, but the functional part of the planning. So I'm going to go through and pull out the stickers that I could use for the decorative part of this, although I will also lean fairly heavily on the Scraptastic Club This Life Noted kit, which matches these stickers also. Now I'm pulling out some of the 3x4 cards that I can use to trim down and use in place of patterned paper in some of those blank spaces. As you can see, there's quite a few blank spaces, and I definitely want to add the beautifulness, is that even a word? The beauty of these cards and the fun. Now I've pulled out my scissors, and I'm going to just trim this one flower out from this card. The scrapbookers call this technique fussy cutting, where you just cut one particular part out of a piece of patterned paper, or in this case like a Project Life type card or something like that. Now I did this because I didn't want to put the entire card on the page, but I did want to have that beautiful floral element. So I'm going to just trim around all the outside of the flower and the leaves, and then just use my Scotch ATG gun to adhere that down to the paper. Now, if you're new to my videos and you've not watched many of them, I'm a big fan of the Scotch ATG gun. It's really big, and the initial cost is a little bit higher than other tape runners, but the refills are super inexpensive, and they're super sticky, and it will last you a really long time. And I've been using this same one for so many years, and I really do enjoy it. Now I measured the space that I had, and I'm going to go ahead and trim up another one of those patterned cards to lay down right there at the bottom of that card, and then I will adhere on top of it that floral. And I just absolutely am in love with the pattern of the florals in this kit. It's just so beautiful. Now, as you can see, I got that all laid down right there, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. You never know if it's going to turn out exactly the way that you envisioned, but I am so glad that it did. Now I'm going to measure the space for these two boxes, and then I'm going to trim down that 4x6 card with all of the different hexagons on the back and add it right there. Now this is a little bit more bold than I would maybe ordinarily add, but I don't even care because it's really fun, and it's kind of a different week with the Valentine's Day theme, so I'm not so bothered by that at all. And again, quite frankly, it's just 1 week, right? If I don't love it in the future, I will change it. Now I added back that Today sticker because of that background paper that I chose. So instead I decided to go back and find the white ones and then adhere that right down there as well to notate my husband's birthday. So I'm pulling out that Tombow brush pen again so that I can write out my husband's name, and then I'll just use my Papermate Flair pen to write the word birthday underneath. And I'll leave a little bit of white space on the sticker because I know that I want to pull out one of the die cuts from the This Life Noted kit and add that to this layout as well. Now there were so many fun die cuts, and I love the two different sort of styles. We have these different little cute stick figures, and then we also have these fun, playful, colorful elements also. And so I pulled those out, and I'm just going to find the perfect one to add right there to go with the part of my husband's birthday, but then also some others that I want to use on this page as well. So I kind of separated them into a couple of different piles, ones that I was going to use and then ones that I was not going to use, just so that I could make sure that I get them added in the different places for the ones that I knew when I looked at them right away that I wanted to use. Now, just because I set them aside because I want to use them doesn't mean that I will use them. Sometimes it means I just have had identified ones that go well with this layout. They could potentially work. And then I work around what's left and where I have space for it and those types of things as well. So a few of those that I identified that I really liked, I decided that I wasn't going to use either. So back into the bag they go, and I will pull them out again for a future layout. I've added a bunch of really cute little bows and hearts and stuff. I'm really happy with how this whole thing turned out. It's super decorative and fun, but definitely still managed to give the overall feel of the week and all of the activities and appointments that we had as well. Now I know that I still want to add just a little bit more of the patterns because I did do a pretty good job of covering up some of that hexagon so it doesn't feel overly, I don't even know what, busy, I guess, on the left-hand side. So I'm just going to trim down this blue and white polka dot one for a little bit of pop over there on the right-hand side and add a couple of enamel shapes, and that's it for me. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching my video. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, please leave me a thumbs up, and if you have any questions, leave it in the box below and I will do my very best to get back to you. Thank you so much, and make it a great day.